Welcome to my cozy little corner of the internet. And today I want to do my 2025 flip through of my very chunky reading journal. First and foremost, before we get into this is going to be a pretty long video, so I would get a drink or a snack or just prepare that this is probably going to be long. Not only am I a yapper, but there's just a lot to go through. The second thing is this was my first ever reading journal. And while I was doing this, I did not have a printer, really any journaling supplies. And for my 2026 one, I actually have a printer now and I have more journaling supplies. For my 2025 journal, I didn't have really any proper supplies and to print my covers and so on and so forth. So it's a little bit on the messy side. Also, I was really trying to figure out what I like journal-wise. So you'll see that there's so many things going on in this journal. It is not very polished. There's different types of spreads. I changed to my mind a lot. There's stuff that I didn't finish, but I still wanted to put it out here just because I completed it and I'm a show and tell child. The idea that it doesn't deserve to be seen because it's not perfect is not something I agree with. So all this to say, just be nice. That's really it. Please just be nice. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, this is my cover page for 2025. I kind of went for a vintagey theme for my original setups, but at the same time I kind of just found stationery that I liked. This is a quote. I can't remember who said it. As you can see, I'm very much like a scrapbooky type of journaler. I really love scrap paper and layering stuff. That has definitely become my go-to. So this was obviously my bookshelfy page. This is the first time I ever did anything like this, drew anything like this, and I had so much fun. It took me 3 days to draw this whole thing, and as you can see, I didn't fill it up. I contemplated coloring the whole thing in, but to be honest with you, I don't really want to. I think I'm at the point with this journal where I'm just done. It's not finished, but I'm done, so it's finished, if that makes sense. Yeah, I did do my key down here, and I did do it by genre. I wish I did it by format, though, because I actually think it would have been nicer to see how many audiobooks versus physical books I read at a glance, but we live and we learn, right? This is how I decided to do my books read. I thought it would be cool to do it to where I could look every single month, so I did do a Dutch door. And if you're curious, I think I'm at 110 for the year, if I'm not mistaken. This is March and April. You can see I started the year off very strong, and then it kind of starts to bellow out in the summertime, which tends to happen for me. And yeah, this is still a lot of books in a month, but I listen to books while I'm at work, so it's gonna happen regardless, to be honest. And I am filming this in December. We have 2 weeks left to December. I'm actually only doing rereads for the rest of the year, so I probably won't add to this. I think this is a reread, and then I'm rereading the entire Magnolia Parks universe series until December is over. We'll get to that at the end of this book, but yeah, that was my at a glance with my Dutch doors. This is where I'm you see how it's messy. So I didn't have a printer, and I was printing at the library. I was literally making all of my pictures in a document and then printing it out at the library. So obviously you're gonna see like the pictures maybe aren't the same size, or like stuff like this where this isn't the neatest thing ever, but I couldn't resize them or reprint them. That would have been a lot. I also scrapped my goals page as well in my new journal, but I did meet all my goals. I did read 3 classics. I did read 3 nonfiction. They were all memoirs, though, and I feel like that's kind of cheating for me because I love a memoir. This is the page I hate the most in this entire journal. I never used it. I hated it so much. I just really was struggling to figure out what I wanted to do for my series tracker. It is a Dutch door that I didn't end up using. I guess that's not that bad in retrospect, but I don't know. I just don't really like it. I like these titles, though. This is cute. Is that spelled wrong? That might be spelled wrong. All right, so this is my first monthly page, and this is where you're gonna see a little bit of an inconsistency. So I started out doing like one big page for the month and then doing books read on another one, but I end up changing that later down the line, and you'll see. But this is what I did for January. Another thing is I can't draw star worth shit. And with not having a printer or like sticker paper, I didn't really want to like print stars and have to glue every single, it was a whole thing. So I just left my star ratings off pretty much most of my journal because it was just easier that way. My favorite read in January was probably these 2. Yeah, for sure, these 2. Oh my god, I'm just now noticing that that's upside down. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? And this is the other thing. So I started basically like doing these types of spreads where I kind of had my thoughts and feelings, and don't read them if you don't want spoilers, but at the same time, I wrote these at like the dead of night, not paying attention, so some of the words are spelled wrong, but you know, we're there. And then I kind of was like, you know what, I don't really like writing about my books, so I started strictly doing collage spreads. You can see I did it for the first Red Rising book, which I didn't really like this. I know. I don't know if I'm going to continue. I'm still conflicted. And then I read like a mafia romance, and honestly, making collages for like contemporary romances is probably like my favorite thing in the whole world, and I can't wait to make more in my new journal. This is a middle grade. You see how like, I don't know. I don't like that this is blank, but like, I didn't really have anything else to say. Didn't like Iron Flame. I have Onyx Storm, but I hadn't keep going because I didn't like it. And this is the first time I read Little Women this year, and this is where I'm like, I wish I would have wrote, but I was so like anti-writing my thoughts. I just liked the way the collage looked more. But you'll see in like February, I kind of figured a happy medium. You see I did full collages again, Giovanni's Room and the Favorites. This was really good. If any of you guys read Carrie Soto is Back and you liked that, I recommend this. I'm not even kidding. I read this and it immediately made me want to reread Carrie Soto is Back, which I did. Like literally immediately. Another middle grade, and then From Lukov with Love. Yeah, I'm so sorry to any of these authors' fans. I did not like this. I don't think she's for me, and it's not because she's slow burn. I don't mind a slow burn. It kind of gave me nothing. I'm sorry. This was the 4th book, the second Daisy Hates book. I read this early this year, and I ended up rereading the entire series in December, but we'll get to that. This is when Kennedy Ryan stole my heart. I am planning on reading so many Kennedy Ryan books. This book was really good. Like, this book was really, really good. I read The Right Move. I loved this. And this is where I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't think I like this. And you'll see I scrap this as the journal goes on. I scrap the whole stats or, like, favorites situation. You can tell my heart just, like, wasn't really in it. This is my February cover page, still doing it like this, where it's one full page, and then all the books I read. My favorite from this month was probably Strange the Dreamer and The Expanse. This is honestly fastly growing as one of my favorite series of all time. This is something that I've started doing. Like I said, in my next journal, am planning on figuring out how to make this look less messy. I don't like the skipping every line with my handwriting. It looks so bad. Ace of Spades. This was okay. The plot was alright. It kind of gave me Pretty Little Liars vibes, but I don't know. It was okay. This is where I found my happy medium. This is where I was like, oh, okay, I like this. So doing the collage and then doing the writing in between. This is probably my favorite spread in this entire freaking thing. I love this spread so bad. Also, this book was so good. I love this book, really. Like, I love this book so much. I liked this collage. I hated the way I did the writing, but we're here. This is another one of my favorite ones. This is when I kind of started to figure out what I liked in my journal. And then again, I don't like the favorites page, and I completely decided to scrap this. You can see I had some bleed through, and yeah, it's not perfect, but it exists. This is my March page. Honestly, this page looks so plain, and like 2 months later, I kind of just did some random shit to it, so this is how it looks. This is me marking all of the days I finished a book. Oh, my favorites from this month, if you're curious, I really like the Green Rider series. This was really good. Ender's Game was good. The Tattooist of Auschwitz was good. The Long Walk was good. Circe was good. This was a decent reading month. Between Two Fires was good. This is my Circe page. I actually really like how my Circe page turned out, except for the bleeding through, but we live and we learn. You can tell the printer at the library was struggling. Yeah, and you can see my spread started becoming pretty consistent with this like collage around and then the words with the color down the middle. I will definitely be keeping this up in my next journal. I really like the way that all of these turn out. This is where, I was trying something different. I did a spring movie list because I thought I wanted to watch more movies. And I thought I was going to start documenting movies in my journal. And I quickly decided I didn't like that. This page is not finished. Like I said, this is very messy, but I kind of have an idea of what I like and dislike now. Okay. So this is the first time that I did a monthly spread or monthly page where I did all the books I read on that page. There's also movies because, like I said, I kind of had it in my head that I also wanted to do movies in this, and then I disregarded that idea and decided just to do books. But with that being said, I absolutely love the way that this page turned out. I just think it looks so pretty. This was my favorite book I read this year. Clearly, I had a lot to say. Again, the printer at the library was struggling. yeah, I really enjoyed this book, but then I didn't really have as much as I thought I was gonna have to say. So yeah, that happened. I reread the entire Hunger Games series. Again, thought I was gonna have more to say, and then I didn't. I could probably sit down and write more right now. I don't know. Then I immediately went into Sunrise on the Reaping. This is one of my absolute favorite spreads. I love the way this page turned out so much because now what I'm about to do, spoilers for Sunrise on the Reaping, just spoilers. These are all the Easter eggs that I found. I thought this would be really fun to just have a little flip through or a little flip Dutch store situation. I don't know. I'm very proud of how this page turned out. Again, still kind of thinking I wanted to do movies, so these are all movies. This has become one of my new comfort movies. This movie was way better than I thought it was going to be. This was very, very cute. This was very, 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 very cute. This was an amazing movie I saw this year. I really did not like this movie. This was very cute and comfy. I love Peter Pan, so, you know. So this was another attempt at trying to figure out what I like and what I dislike. So I love the way that this page turned out. No, I didn't really finish coloring it, but it was cute, right? And then I thought, okay, I'm going to do like a TBR maybe next, because I do make TBRs quite often to organize my brain for what I want to read next. And yeah, I didn't like this at all. I ended up not liking this at all. So then the next page has the books I did actually read, and then a movie, well, 2 movies that I watched. And yeah, This is another example of not having a printer at home, so not being able to resize my journal, my book covers. I watched Sense and Sensibility for the first time. This has also become a comfort movie, just to put that out there. This movie is so good. This is also when I discovered that I really like the idea of tying in my, theme for the month to the spreads that are just reviews. I will be carrying this idea over into the next journal. Yeah, this is another not finished page that honestly will probably never get finished. But that's just life at the end of the day. I was literally printing out letters to do summer watch list and then got lazy and changed my mind. But again, another example of I thought maybe movies. But for 2026, I'm going to do a separate journal for my media that isn't books. So I loved the way that this one turned out. It wasn't perfect. Obviously, I didn't color in these. I definitely should have. I think not having a printer and having to batch do a lot of my spreads made my motivation for doing it way, way lower. That's why I'm so excited for 2026, because I just feel like my journal is going to be 10 times better than this. And I know I keep saying that, but I don't know. But this is another one that I ended up really, really liking. And this is kind of what I think I'm going to stick with, is this title page with the books I read. I honestly like the way this turned out. I wish I had a lighter pink to do the lines. It would have been so good if so. I tried to change up because I was getting kind of bored with the collage on the side. This is the first and only time I wrote the name of the book and the author, and I think I might carry this over depending on the book. I haven't decided yet, but I do like the way this turned out. I love the way this turned out. This is another example of me trying something different. Not only did I try something different with the collage, but I actually doodled, which I ended up really liking this concept of doodling. So I might do that. And then also writing the start and finish date. I might keep doing that. And then I did like the publish date and how many pages. I don't know. We gotta see how I'm feeling, to be honest. This is another example of having the books read on my like monthly title page, and I think I like it. Again, it's messy. The lines aren't clean, but it's fun. You know, it's okay that it's not perfect. So as you can see, I did the thing where I tied in the like theme with the quick spreads. This was a month where I just really didn't want to make a lot of collage pages, if I'm being honest. I really didn't have the time nor the energy, and I'm okay with that. I don't think I need to make collage pages for everything. I do really like the way this turned out, and I have so many ideas to make this a little bit cleaner and look a little bit better, but I love the way that this and the stickers turned out. Like, I think it looks really good. So again, I did the same thing where I did the theme. This turned out really cute. This was another month. Basically, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the printer at the library messed up, and so there was like 2 months where I couldn't do my journal, and I had to literally batch do like 2.5 months worth of journal spreads. So collages was just not gonna happen. But I am really proud of how like this side looks really, really good. I do really like this side because this is one of my favorite books of all time, but I could have done it better. September. I really like the way this one turned out. It's not perfect, but I had fun doodling. And I always think pages look good when they have book pages in it. I honestly don't know what it is. Oh, and also, this is when I got my printer. I finally got my printer, if you can tell, and I got sticker paper. And this started to make my life 10 times easier. Another example of me not finishing a page. It is okay. I think life got ahead of me, life got away from me, and like I said, with the way that I had to do my journal this year, it just happens that way. And it is okay. It is okay not to be perfect. I'm reminding myself, not you. I love the way my It page turned out. I wish I wrote more, but I do actually really like the way this page turned out. I actually love the way my October page turned out. I thought this was so adorable. Like this, I love the way this page turned out. I tried something new with the like bigger book covers and the like having a picture that kind of had a vibe to it to like match it. I think I'm carrying this over into my next journal for sure. I don't love all the color that's on this page. I think I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but I don't know. There's something I like about this though. This is when I kind of figured out that I needed to find a way to prompt myself, because when it's time for me to write, my brain goes blank, even though I have so many thoughts and feelings. And so this is when I got the idea to print out like characters, plotting, atmosphere, and then like thought-provoking. And then for like a romance, like spice, level, heart, characters, atmosphere, thought-provoking, and kind of prompt myself and then do the stars so it kind of gives me an idea of what I felt about every individual thing. I love the way this collage turned out. I love the way this collage turned out. I will be, I think, carrying this idea in this spread over as well, just maybe executing it a teeny bit differently. This is when I read Frankenstein. If you can tell, I feel like I can tell. I got a printer and I felt like I could dedicate more time and energy to my spreads for each book. Then we have November. Honestly, I really like the way this one turned out. I was in the midst of working on my 2026 setup journal, so I had a lot of like pictures that I ended up not using and doing that in this instead. I honestly really love the way this turned out. And this is when I kind of realized I don't like my handwriting and I'm not very good at titles. So now that I have a printer, I can print out my titles, and I will be doing that so much more often now. I love the way this page started. My handwriting ruined this whole thing. I need to stop doing second line highlights and then writing on the second line. I don't know why I do that. I genuinely don't know why I did that. I think it was an accident at first, but yeah, I gotta stop doing that. But there's so many things I like about this spread. Like, this is so cute. This is so cute. This is so cute. I actually kind of love the way that this page turned out. This is from Journal Say, and I love this PET tape. Like, it's turned out so well. All of these kind of have like a foresty vibe, so I went with this like PET tape. And yeah, like I said, I do think I'm keeping this concept. I like the boxes. I think it cleans it up a little bit. Okay, and then this was my December. Like I said, there is still 2 weeks left in December, so I haven't fully finished. There are things in here like some of the writing that I will probably go in and fill out. My brain is so ready for my next journal that I think I'm just mentally done with this journal. I'm leaving this blank for anything that I might read, and then these are rereads. Like I said, I'm rereading the entire Magnolia Parks universe because I love it so much, but it's also very, very easy to listen to, so it just gives me something to enjoy while I'm waiting for the year to end. I love the way my Good Spirits collage came out, and honestly, this one, spoilers. I will be doing this, but honestly, I needed to get this flip through. I still need to put my opinion on this book. I loved this book. I think that December was my favorite month that I did spread. And so I think I'm going to lean into the way that I did my spreads in December. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. I reread the entire Magnolia Parks universe, Magnolia Parks and the Daisy Hates books. I'm currently on the second Magnolia book, which is the third book in the series. And I didn't need to write anything because I already read it, but I thought it would be fun to do a whole collage because I just love the aesthetic of these books. So I ended up just doing a full collage. And then also I did these Polaroids to people that I felt like looked like them. I don't know why I'm convinced that Brooklyn Beckham is BJ in real life, but I just am. And I love Daisy Hates. I don't know which one I like better. I really like the aesthetic of Magnolia Parks, but I love Christian so bad, and Daisy is a badass, and Julian is honestly so hot. And the vibe of Daisy Hates with all the gang stuff is honestly just a riot. So, yeah. I left this page blank just in case I wanted, just in case I did read something new. I just wanted to make sure that I could write that in here. And then this is my Hall of Fame. I hadn't decided what I wanted to do for my honorable mentions yet, so that's blank for that to happen. But other than the title, which again, I need to just start printing my titles. Every time I do it by hand, I hate it, so I just need to do it with the printer. I actually really like the way that this page turned out. I had some random washi tape and some paper and some stickers that, I don't know. Do they go together? I don't know, but it's fun. And that is it. That is my 2025 reading journal flip through. I said this a million times, but it's not perfect. Please be kind. This was my year of figuring things out. I have a printer now. I have kind of an idea of what I like to do. If you guys want to watch and haven't watched my 2026 flip through, you can check that out. I'm going to put it down below. You can see that I kind of figured out what I liked, and it's a little bit cleaner than what this turned out to be. So if you're gonna follow me because this looks messy, just go look at my setup, because I promise, like, it looks better. But yeah, let's just remember that it is okay to not be perfect. And yeah, if you made it this far, because I know I've been yapping for so long, leave a emoji of a flower, and like, subscribe, leave a comment of what books do you want to read in 2026, or maybe your favorites in 2025, and I will see you next time.